Hello, gamers. So, what is on the agenda today? Well, two things. We're going to get some battles in. We're going to use like an Iron Moth team and I think a Snorlax team. But I had a couple of other things I wanted to work on. Basically, I have used effectively every Pokemon at least once. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, probably not like every Pokemon. I don't think I've ever touched Sawsbuck in my life. But I was thinking, me as a content creator, I tend to focus my gameplay around like qualifying for worlds, doing guides, and currently everyone who's qualified for worlds already knows that they're going to worlds, and I am going to worlds as a creator, so I have no reason to prep for the tournament. Also, thank you for the resub High Voltage, 2 months, appreciate you. I'm going to worlds as a creator, right? So I'm not competing. There's no prep to be done on my end. So I was like, okay, what can I do to fill the time before Pokemon Champions? And I figured it out. We are literally going to spend the month of July trying to win with every Pokemon in the game. Now, the goal is to win one match with every available Pokemon. Now, I'm not going to be using stuff like Shroomish, right? Like, that just seems like a waste of time. And, like, let's be real. What would it do? I would equip the Focus Sash, and I would sack it to get something in for free. With, like, every one of them. That's boring. It's not particularly hard, like, to use those Pokemon. It's like you're playing a 3v4. That's basically it. I want to use the beginning of this stream to establish the ground rules for this challenge. And to just figure out like what the rules in general are, kind of come up with a little plan. And this is going to be what we're going to be working on for the next month. We're going to take some breaks and stuff, but yeah. So they have to be fully evolved. So like, I'm writing the document here. So the Battle Dex Challenge is simply a challenge for competitive Pokemon players to win at least one battle with every available fully evolved, with certain exceptions, Pokemon in the game. It can be played on any format, in any format. But it was designed with VGC in mind. See rules below. So first of all, what I think I'm going to put here is the battle does not qualify as a win for the used Pokemon, or for a Pokemon, if that Pokemon never hit the field. And let's say, all right, do they have to use one move, right? I feel like they have to use at least one move, and use at least one move. If the Pokemon clicks protect, that's fine, I guess. If the Pokemon clicks protect and does, I'm gonna here, even if the Pokemon only clicks protect and nothing else, that still qualifies as using the Pokemon in the match. If a Pokemon hits the field, all right, so here's what I think. Yeah, I think the Pokemon needs to at least use a move, right? I was gonna say, let's say it's on the field for 2 turns. You can't be on the field for 2 turns without using a move. So I think that yeah, I don't need to like say that. If the Pokemon hits the field, and fails to use a move, it is not considered used. What? Used. This challenge only requires the use of fully evolved Pokemon, but there are certain not fully evolved Pokemon that are included, as they are considered viable in some way as they're considered viable in some way. See list below. I feel like that's like the only two rules I really need, right? So like, I can make like the complete list like with every single Pokemon on it, and I guess we could do that. I don't know. What do you guys think? We can go through the list and figure out which ones we should include. I think I'm gonna do that. Let me see. Okay. Let me get chat up too. So I can see all of this. Because I need to be able to see your feedback. Because I'm going to use chat to help me out along the process of figuring out which one of these we should include, right? So, here's chat. Okay. What about regional forms? Should we... I think we include regional forms. Yeah, we'll include regional forms. Use of fully evolved Pokemon with these in our... see list below. Regional forms and alternate forms are considered separate for this challenge. For example, you must win a match with every Rotom form, and with every Rotom form, you must also use both Raichu and Alolan Raichu. I think that's fair, you know? I think you should have to use them because they're basically, like, a lot of them are very different, you know? And it feels like you're not really using every single Pokemon if you, like, win with Dugtrio, but not Alolan Dugtrio. So, okay. Sorry, it looks like YouTube chat is not updating for me. There we go. Let me read YouTube chat real quick. Any format you say? What about Reg A? I mean, like, there has to be a ladder. I guess I should put that in there. Like, you should. Saludos desde Brazil. What's up, Mayan? How you doing? What are we gonna do with the Pokemon that aren't an SV? Do you just have to play in a past? No, like, this is like an SV. It's for whatever Pokemon's available in the game. You know. What about things like Cherim and Cast Form? Cherim and Cast Form, you don't really decide what form they take. So it's not really worth distinguishing. Like, you have to use Cherim and also use it on a Sun team so it changes form. Like, that's not worth it. So I guess I should explain that so people don't get confused. All right. However, Pokemon who change forms mid-match, like Cherim, I'm gonna just put... Cherim, Cast Form. Do mid-match. Not require you to activate the alternate form for the win to count for the Pokemon. Yeah. You only need to use them once. This challenge is done on official ladders only. So facing a friend specifically, right? Like, so if you go on if you like challenge a friend, so I guess, so challenging a friend to complete it is against the rules. All right. Challenging a friend to complete it is against the rules. I think there would need to be at least a battle for it to count. What do you mean? You need to click a move. What if the opponent forfeits beforehand? If the opponent forfeited before that Pokemon is able to click a move, that doesn't really count. Forfeits on turn 0 do not count for any Pokemon, as no Pokemon have used a move. Forfeits on any other turn count for whatever Pokemon have used moves up until that point. So yeah, if you like click Fake Out with Incineroar and your opponent forfeits turn 2, that's a win for Incineroar, right? The different forms of the forces of nature count. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that in like the legality list. All right, so what we're gonna do really quick. Let me get some music going real quick. I feel like we need some music. I can't talk with like no music. Glitch X City. Whoa. Glitch X City. Let's just put Glitch X City on. All right. These rules all make sense, right? Just showing what is this for? We're writing the rule set for a challenge I'm trying to do. So I guess we'll just, for everyone just tuning in. Let me go over the rules we have so far. The Battle Dex Challenge is simply a challenge for competitive Pokemon players to win at least one battle with every available fully evolved, with certain exceptions, Pokemon in the game. It can be played in any format, but was designed with VGC in mind. See rules below. The battle does not qualify as a win for a Pokemon if that Pokemon never hit the field and used at least one move. Even if the Pokemon only clicks Protect and nothing else, that still qualifies as using the Pokemon in the match. If a Pokemon hits the field and fails to use a move, it is not considered used. Failing to use a move due to an ability like Levitate, failing due to an opponent's ability or a miss still counts as using a move. The move must have just been selected and for some outcome to have been selected. The outcome of the move is not a factor. All right. This challenge requires only the use of fully evolved Pokemon, but there are certain not fully evolved Pokemon that are included as they are considered viable in some way. See list below. Regional forms and alternate forms are considered separate for this challenge. For example, you must win a match with every Rotom form. You must also use both Raichu and Alolan Raichu. However, Pokemon who change forms mid-match, for example, Cherrim and Cast form, do not require you to activate the alternate form for the win to count for the Pokemon. You only need to use them once. This challenge is done on official ladders only, so challenging a friend to complete it is against the rules. Pokemon Showdown is fine. Forfeits on turn 0 do not count for any Pokemon, as no Pokemon have used a move. Forfeits on any other turn count for whatever Pokemon have used moves up until that point. I feel like there was a rule we were about to write, and then I got sidetracked. Let me see. No. Splash, go, Burt. Yeah, you can technically click Splash. I think that's really all the rules I need, unless someone can think of something I'm forgetting about. Should I include a clause for imprisoned moves? I guess it doesn't matter, because here's the thing. Here, like, even if a Pokemon uses struggle, it counts. Because here's the thing, right? If you have a Pokemon on the field, let's say that you and your opponent have identical Indeedis, and their Indeedee imprisons, and you have no moves that you can click, right? That Pokemon is going to struggle, and it's still going to happen. Or if they imprison before the move is selected, or if you select the move and then it gets imprisoned and you can't use the move anymore, that still counts. That still counts because you tried to use it, right? All right. So legality list. We're gonna work on the legality list. Notable. Let's just make the full legal list. Required Pokemon for Scarlet and Violet. You guys are going to help me with this part because I need some opinions from chat about certain Pokemon that I think maybe need to be included. All right, so first up is Meowscarada, Skeledirge, Quaquaval, both Oinkologne male and female. So Oinkologne M, Oinkologne F, Spidops, Lowkicks, Jumpluff, Talonflame, Pawmot, Houndoom, Gumshoes, Greedent, Sunflora, Cricketune, should we make them use Spupa? Can you link the Dex tracker in the doc? Yeah, I can link the Dex tracker, but the thing is, like, I have to decide which not fully evolved ones need to be used. And honestly, I might just make like a spreadsheet myself, so that way there isn't any confusion, because this doesn't include male and female for like Oinkologne or Indeedee. It's just Oinkologne, right? I guess there is info. Oh no, that info doesn't do anything for that. So I think I'm just gonna make my own and like check it off from that point. So it's just easier that way. All right. Should we make them use Spupa? Also, Evelyn, thanks so much for the 3 months. That's like 3 months. Yeah, like Clefairy and Magmar, they should have to be used. You know what I mean? Do you think Spupa? Because Spupa has like Friend Guard, I'm pretty sure. What about Ditto? Ditto still has to select a move. If you imposter, you still have to select a move afterwards. All right, chat, what do we think? Spupa mandatory or no? No, the Oinkolones have different stats, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Yeah, they have different stats. Didn't you specify fully evolved? There are exceptions. I said in the document that there are exceptions to the fully evolved rule if the Pokemon is considered like viable in some way, shape, or form when they're not fully evolved. So that's why I'm like considering Spupa, because Spupa has seen like niche usage, and I think it'd be funny just to throw Spupa in there because Spupa has Friend Guard and Eviolite and like Rage Powder. That's kind of funny. I don't know. I just don't know if I should make them. And that's why we're making this list, because we're trying to figure out which ones they should have to. I need chat involvement. Share your opinions. If Ditto gets blocked and clicks transformed, is that the move? Yeah, if Ditto clicks transform, that's a move. Well, you would probably just use freaking imposter anyways. So far, we're like half on yeses, half on nos. Let's make them use Spupa. Yeah, I'm gonna make them use Spupa. Alright. Alright, Spupa is on the list. Spupa. Villain. Vespiquen. Corvin Knight. Chansey for sure. Blissey. Azumarill. Masquerain. Clodsire. Golduck, Dreadnought. Golduck, Dreadnought. Wigglytuff. Gardevoir. Gallade. Hypno. Gengar. Gengar, Mousehold, Pikachu, and Raichu. Pikachu, Raichu. Doxbun. Slacking. Zarina. Yeah, these I'm gonna post these rules publicly. I'll just make the doc public for people to download. So Zarina, Arboliva. Pseudo, Wudo, Lycanroc, Colossal, Luxray, Staraptor, Oricorio. What is it? What are the Oricorio form names? Because you have to do all of them. Oricorio. What's the name of the fire one? I feel like it has a name, but it's not listed on Showdown. Oricorio. Oricorio. Pom. Oricorio. Sensu. Oh, it's Bile. Oricorio Bile. Alright, Oricorio Bile. Haunter has a niche? No, you don't need to use Haunter. Haunter does not have a niche. Haunter does not do anything. It's just a Mon. Like, it's not bad, but it's not like a Mon I don't think people need to use. Oh, I didn't list the Lycanroc forms. Lycanroc, Midday, Lycanroc, Dusk, and Lycanroc, Midnight. Okay. Feel free to point out if I like miss a Pokemon. Alright. Ampharos. Lilligant. Oh, Lilligant. Hisui. I also have to go back and make sure I say Raichu, Alola. Probably a couple of forms I missed. Talonflame, Palma, Kricketune, Clodsire, Dreadnought, Wigglytuff, Hypno, Gengar, Raichu, Alola. And I think that's the only one that I missed so far. Okay. Okay, so Lilligant, Hisui, Breloom, Flapple, Appleton, what's it called? Hydrapple. I have to make sure I don't double down on Hydrapple because it's going to be later in the list. Grumpig, Squawk, Billy, Miss Magius, Hariyama. Crabominable. Salazzle. Donphan, Kaparaja, Garchomp. Barraskewda. Basculin. Basculegion. Male. Basculegion. Female. Swalot. Persian. Drifblim. Florges. I never realized how many Pokemon are in this game, bro. Dugtrio. Torkoal. Oh wait, Dugtrio Alola as well. Let me read chat for a second. Who is doing this challenge? Me and anyone else who wants to do it too. Are meta-defining Pokemon considered? Yes, they're included. They're included as well. What if I use Hippowdon and Garchomp? Do I cross them both off the list? Yes. You don't need to do 1,000 battles. If you use multiple Pokemon in a match, like for example, let's say I want to use Kaparaja. I built a Kaparaja team with like Incineroar, Rillaboom, Miraidon, right? If I win that match, whichever 4 Pokemon came to that match and did something are crossed off the list. All right, Garganacl. Wait, did I ever say Garganacl? Ooh, I missed Garganacl. All right, yeah, because it was right after Garchomp. Glad I caught that. Camerupt, Bronzong. Camerupt, Bronzong. Haxorus. All right, here's one where I need an opinion. Should you have to use Primeape? Primeape was... Can you reuse the Pokemon after you cross them off? Yes, of course. Yes, that's totally fine. You only have to win minimum 1 game with each Pokemon. What if your Pokemon clicked a move, but it got roared out or something before it could execute? Does that count? If you attempted to Trick Room and you got roared out, that still counts. What matters is that you selected the move. At the end of the day, you just have to make sure you select the move. Or if you can't select a move and you struggle, that counts as well. All right. All right, so I need opinions. Should you have to use Primeape? Because Primeape was considered a fully evolved Pokemon up until Gen 9. And I think it would be good for the challenge if you had to use Primeape. Yes? Yeah, I'm getting some positive feedback on Primeape. All right. Primeape. Annihilate. Medicham. I didn't even know Medicham was in the game, bro. Lucario. Armarouge. Cerulege. I didn't spell that one right. Cerulege. Purely because it means people have to use Primeape? Yeah. Did you get Pelipper and Gyarados? They were after Garganacl. Did I miss like a whole row? Yeah, I like missed a whole row. Garganacl, Pelipper, Gyarados. Yeah, I just jumped right to Barraskewda. All right. Anger point for silly. Yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of these Pokemon are fully evolved but have no viability. That's kind of the point. All right. Whiscash. Belly Bolt. Goodra. Hisui. Toxic Croak. The Watchroll. Vaporeon. Jolteon. Flareon. Espeon. Umbreon. Leafeon. Glaceon. Sylveon. I don't think you should have to use Dunsparce. I think the Dunsparce is fine. The Dunsparce. Sawsbuck. Farigiraf. Maybe we don't include Primate because honestly, like, not including like Dunsparce and Girafarig just makes Primeape seem weird. Yeah, we're gonna take Primeape off the list. Just so I can be a little more consistent. Because, like, you know, they were also fully evolved at one point. Alright, Muck. Muck Alola. Mabostiff. Weirdeer. Tox. Oh, wait. I, like, skipped an entire line again. Toxtricity. Dedenne. Pachirisu. Grafaiai. Moongus. Magnezone. Ditto. Ditto, Arcanine. Arcanine, Hisui. Ditto, Arcanine, Hisui. I don't think you should have to use Ursaring. Yeah, we'll just stick to, like, Ursaluna. I think what we'll do is, like, if a Pokemon evolved before, only if it's considered viable today, or if it is just really, really silly, like with Spupa, then I think it should be considered. Because Spupa plays entirely differently, if that makes sense, right? Spupa does not play like Vivillon at all. They're very different Pokemon, and Spupa could be used, even if it sucks. It's that friend guard that does it, you know? But if it's just effectively an upgraded version of, like, the previous form, I don't think it's worth it. Do you need both Toxtricity? I think one's fine, because they have the same stats, don't they? Like, what's the big difference? I think it's literally just plus and minus. Like, they don't really play it all differently. Eviolite support move. All right, hold on. Toxtricity. Yeah, the only difference is plus and minus. You don't need to use both forms. That's the only difference between them, I'm pretty sure. They might get, like, one different move, but, like, that's not worth having to use effectively the exact same set twice. Like, it just defeats the purpose of distinguishing them. We have Ursaluna. Oh, Ursaluna. Blood Moon. Zangoose. Seviper. Altaria. Goat, my goat. Tauros. What are the Tauros forms? What are the Tauros forms? Tauros, oh, what's the name of the region we're in here? Tauros Paldean. Tauros Paldea Aqua. Tauros Paldea Combat. Tauros Paldea Aqua. And Tauros Paldea Blaze. All right. Only difference is move pools and their typings. So pretty important distinguish there. Pyroar. Are the Pyro has different forms? Do they matter? No, because they're listed as like the same thing. Yeah, it's the exact same stats, exact same abilities. All right, Pyroar, Skuntank, Zoroark, Hisui, Weavile, Murkrow, Honchkrow, Gothitelle, Sinistea, not Sinistea, Poltegeist, Sinistcha, Mimikyu, Lefkey. There are so many Pokemon in this game, bro. Indeedee F, Indeedee M, Bramble, Ghast, Toads, Cruel, Tropius, Lurantis, Cloth, one of the Pokemon ever, Scovillain, Cacnea. Why am I saying Cacnea? What's his name? Cacturn. Cacturn, Rabsca, Venomoth, Forretress, Scyther, Scizor, Heracross, Espathra, Hippowdon. I like how we're not even at like the DLC yet. Crocodile, Sandaconda, Mudsdale, Volcarona, Salamence. And people complain about Dexit, right? All right, Salamence, Tinkaton. We're getting towards the end of the decks, at least the base decks. Tinkaton, Hatterene, Grimmsnarl, Wugtrio, Birdier, Palafin, Revavroom. Revavroom's gonna be hard. That mon sucks. Revavroom, Cyclizar, Orthworm, Sableye, Banette, Phalanx, Lucha, Spiritomb. I've been that wrong. Spiritomb, Noivern, Dragapult, Glimmora, Rotom, Rotom Cut, Rotom Wash, Rotom Heat, Rotom Fan, Rotom. I actually don't know the name of the fridge one. Frost? It's Frost. Rotom Frost. I was like, wait a minute. What is that one called? All right, Rotom Frost. Houndstone. Yeah, all like the... Yeah. Like the Kanto guys like Rhydon, Magmar, and Electabuzz definitely count. Oh yeah, I forgot Sneasler over by the other guy. Where did I put you on this list? Control F, Weavile. Forgot about Sneasler. Sneasler, okay. All right, we're at Houndstone. Oranguru, Passimian, Kamala, Tyranitar, Stonjourner, Ice Cube, Pincurchin, Sludger, Ice Cube, Pincurchin, Palisand. Palisand, Slowbro. Slow King. Oh wait, Slowbro. Slowbro, Galar. Slow King, Galar. Gastrodon, doesn't matter which form, they're the same thing. Gastrodon, Cloyster. I'm gonna make you use Quillfish. And Quillfish Hisui. Quillfish Hisui. Overquill. That's one of the coolest names ever, by the way. Overquill. Like, that's just hard. Alright, Overquill. Love Disc, Luminion. Bruxish. Alomomola. Dragalge. There's so many Pokemon, bro. I just want to try to get this challenge done before, I want to try to get this challenge done before freaking Champions drops. Alright, Clawitzer. Electros. Toxapex. Flamigo. Dragonite. Would you put Dipplin on the list? I don't think Dipplin's worth it. I don't know if I would put Dipplin on the list. I guess we could put Dipplin on the list. Yeah, let's just put Dipplin on the list. People used him. Apple. Appleton. Dipplin. People were using him for a while. Alright, Dragonite. Frostmoth, Abomasnow. Delibird. Oh my god, that one's gonna suck. Beartick. Glalie. Frostlass. Cryogonal. Titan. Avalugg. Hisui. Braviary, Hisui. Braviary, Hisui. Gambit. I don't think I'm gonna put Bisharp on the list. Gambit. Hydreigon. Dondozo. Tatsugiri. Arguably the easiest duo to get out of the way. Tatsugiri. Great Tusk. Screamtail. Brute Bonnet. Fluttermane. Slitherwing. Sandy Shocks. Iron Treads. Iron Bundle. Iron Hands. Iron Jugulus. Iron Moth. Iron Thorns. Bax Caliber. Goldengo. Wo Chien. Chien Pao. Ting Lu. Chi Yu. Oh. Berserker, Quagsire. Let me put those up by the other ones. Version's there, so Berserker's gonna go here. And Clodsire. I put Quagsire here. And where is... I need the national dex. I need the national dex too. Kitakami. All right, even more. Luckily, this one isn't nearly as long. I got a bunch of them already, too. Ariados. Yon Mega. Mytiena. Volbeat. Illumise. There's a lot of repeats, yeah. Rodont. Leavanny. Cutie Fly. Oh, not Cutie Fly. Ribombi. Arbok. Weepin Bell. Victory. Not Weepin Bell. Victory Bell. Victory Bell. Furret. I already got a few of these. Ninetales. Ninetales Alola. Ninetales Alola. I don't think I got Poliwrath. Politoad. Noctowl. Ambipom. I don't know if Heracross is already in this list. Yeah, there's 2 Heracrosses. Heracross is already on the list. Mamoswine. Shiftry. A lot of these guys are already on the list. I know that for a fact. Trevenant was not on the list. Trevenant. These guys are on the list. These guys are on the list. Golem. Golem. Alola. Conkeldurr. You're on the list. Morpeko is not on the list yet. Morpeko. Snorlax. Ludicolo. Probopass. I already get Luxray. I feel like Luxray. What you got? Yeah, Luxray was already on the list. Ribombi could be a pretty decent supporter. Yeah. Okay. Charjabug and Vikavolt. Sandslash. Sandslash Alola. Gliscor. Pretty sure we already got Mudsdale, right? Yeah, Mudsdale's already on the list. I just have to make sure there's no repeat words anywhere. Okay. Where were we? Mudsdale, we need Kommo-o. Kommo-o. Weezing. Weezing. Galar. Mienshao. Dusclops and Dusknoir. Dusclops and Dusknoir. Chameko. Magcargo. Chandelure. Chandelure wasn't in the base game, right? Yeah, we're good. Clefairy and Clefable. Clefairy, Clefable. Milotic. These guys were already on the list. Carbink, I don't know if it was on the list yet. I don't think it was. Carbink. Glalie, Frostlass, Gudra, Swanna. Is that in the base game? No, it's not. Jesus, this list is so long. Swanna. Cramorant, were you here? I don't think you were. You might have been, though. Yeah, okay, we're good. All right, Cramorant, and now we're here. So now we need... these guys are already good. We just need to do the legendaries. So we have Okidogi, Monkey Dory, Fazandipity, Ogerpon, Teal Mask, Ogerpon, Hearth Flame, Ogerpon, Cornerstone, and Ogerpon Wellspring. Okay. I think we're good there. And then go back, create new decks. 3. Blueberry. All right. Dodrio. Executor. Executor Alola. Rhydon. Rhyperior. Venomoth. Electabuzz. Electivire. Magmar. Magmortar. Blissey. Oh wait, we already got these guys. Is Scizor already on the list, or did he come back in this DLC? Scizor was already on the list, but I never got Kleavor. Forgot about Kleavor. There we go. Zebstrika's new. These guys are already in the game. Mandibuzz, I don't believe. We have Mandibuzz, Smeargle, worst addition to the game ever, Alcremie, Flygon, Toucanon, Tentacruel, Kingdra, Whimsicott, Comfey, Whimsicott, Comfey, Vileplume, Blossom, Blossom, Dugtrionis, Viper, Crabrawler, these guys. We have Lantern is in the game now. Lantern, Malamar. These guys were already in the game. Araquanid is new though. Araquanid. Hitmonlee. Hitmonchan. Hitmontop. Golem. Excadrill. Did I already have Gothitelle? I feel like we already found Gothitelle, right? Yeah, Gothitelle was already on the list. Okay. Meowstic male and female. Meowstic M. Meowstic F. Minior. Rampardos. Bastiodon. Chinchino. Skarmory. Plusle and Minun, that's gonna suck. Scrafty. Golurk. Porygon 2. Porygon Z. Alright. Galvantula. Galvantula, then Metagross, Dugong, Lapras, Reuniclus. Getting to the end. Gramble, Beartic, Duraludon, Archaludon, Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, Bayleaf, not Bayleaf, Meganium, Typhlosion, Feraligatr, Sceptile, Blaziken, Swampert, Forterra, there we go. Infernape, Empoleon, Serperior, Emboar, Samurott, Chestnut, Delphox, Greninja, Decidueye. Oh, I have to remember to get the forms. Decidueye, Hisui, Incineroar, Primarina. Make sure I go back to Typhlosion. Get Typhlosion, Hisui. And let me go back to... Who was it? Who's the other one? So the starters and Legends Arceus were Typhlosion. What was the last one? Oh, Samurai Hisui. Samurai Hisui. Alright, we're at Primarina. Now we're at the end. Rillaboom. Cinderace. Inteleon. Gouging Fire. Raging Bolt. Walking Wake. Iron Crown. Iron Boulder. Iron Leaves. Terrapagos. Oh, we have to get all the legendary Pokemon too. Let me get all the restricteds. Once we get all the restricteds, I think we're done. Okay. So. Calyrex. Ice. Calyrex. Shadow. Dialga. Dialga. Origin. Eternatus. Palkia. Palkia Origin. Giratina. Giratina Origin. Oh my god, this list is so long. Why am I doing this? I could just choose to not do this. Groudon. Oh, I'll tell you why I'm doing this. I'm doing this so some random like website like IGN is going to make an article about me that's going to get less views than the video. That's what I need. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. But the tweet that they put out, the tweet will go crazy. The tweet will get more views than the article itself. Koraidon. Miraidon, Kyurem Black, Kyurem White, Lugia, Lunala, Mewtwo, Necrozma. Should I have to use base Necrozma? I don't think so. Dawn Wings, Necrozma, Duskmane. We're doing this for hype moments in Aura. So true, bestie. Rayquaza, Reshiram, Solgaleo, Zacian, Zamazenta. Should I have to use them separate forms? Why not? Zacian crowned. Zamazenta, crowned. They're pretty different. And finally, Zekrom. Okay. We have completed the list of Pokemon I have to use in this challenge. Here it is. Actually, you know what? Let me take this away. Let me take this away so you guys can see it in its entirety. Let me scroll up to not spoil it. Okay. Here is the list of Pokemon that I have to win with to be able to say that I have won with every Pokemon in the game at least once, not including a bunch of like unevolved Pokemon that no one would use anyways. Who's ready? I have to win with all of this. Oh, I misspelled low kicks. I have to win with all this. Let's just scroll through it. This is 12 pages, by the way. Okay. Now, I'm going to do something really quick. I'm going to do some math, right? How many Pokemon fit on each page? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. There are 40 lines per page. And how many of these pages are fully filled out? So from page 2 all the way until page 11. So that means that 9 of these pages are fully filled out. So 9 times 40 is 360. And then we just add up the ends. So 361, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 370. 371, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have to win with 379 Pokemon in this challenge. And people complained about Dexit. 379 Pokemon. Now let's do some other math. Let's do some other math that's going to really make me reconsider this. 379, if we manage to do this at the highest of... Wait, 468? What did I miss? Wait, why is it 468? Are there not 9 pages of 40 each? So 4 times 9 is 36 with a 0, so 360. Why is it 468? Oh, I was guessing? Okay. Okay, my bad. All right, so 379 Pokemon. If we do this at the highest possible efficiency, that is 4 Pokemon per battle. This is not reality, but the highest possible efficiency for this challenge would be a minimum, absolute minimum of 95 matches. I have to, and it's probably not going to be 95. realistically, we're not going to be able to do this at the highest possible efficiency. I am going to estimate, let's say, 300 matches minimum. I think it's going to take me at minimum 300 matches, maybe 500. Maybe 500. Yeah, I'm doing the restricted legendaries too. Man. Yeah, this is a perfect way to fill the gap until Pokemon Champions. Okay. Oh my god. Dude, I don't even have time to battle today. That took the entirety of the stream just to list out every Pokemon. I didn't even have time to do my battles because I was gonna stop streaming at 5. It's 4:51. Okay, we'll use Iron Moth tomorrow. I'm sorry for the clickbait. I thought this would take like 20 minutes. I thought this would take like 20 minutes. I guess until then, we can do some like hypothetical team building, right? So, here's a question. How should I tackle this? Should I go down the list or should I jump around? Should I go down the list or should I jump around? I think you skipped over Veluza. Oh yeah, if you can list a Pokemon you think I missed, let me know. Yeah, I did skip Veluza. Let's just throw him here. Veluza. Okay, so now it's 380. Now it's 380. 380 Pokemon are required for this match, or for this challenge. Get the hard ones out of the way, first or last, whatever you feel like. Yeah, I guess jumping around's not a bad idea, especially if I just like down but jump if they don't work together. You're putting this doc in your Discord? Yeah, I'll leave the document up for people to look at. I think tonight what I'm gonna do is make a spreadsheet for this. That way, like, people can check off their progress if they want to try it. Dude. This is gonna suck. Are you making it if you get the Pokemon checked off the list, you can't use that Pokemon anymore? No, you can use the Pokemon as many times as you need to. But you just need to make sure you use every Pokemon at least once. Now this is going to be an ongoing project. Let me do some math, right? Let me do some math. I think we're going to have to do some funky team building here where we're able to fit like we're going to use a lot of staples, right? But we should be able to fit like 3 Pokemon onto each team, right? So if I have prepared 6 teams a week, right? And the goal is just to get through as many of those teams as possible, that would be helpful. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to enlist the help of you guys. And if you guys have any rentals for Pokemon that are on like the list that I still have to complete, and I'll make sure that my progress on this list remains public, you can send me those rentals over like Discord or Twitter, and that would like ease up my workload as far as like trying to win with every single Pokemon. Because I think having to team build with every single Pokemon might unironically be harder than having to use every single Pokemon, you know? Yeah, I think it's going to be 3 good, 3 silly is the optimal route. 3 good Pokemon, 3 silly. If you can use repeats, you can make good team and then put the list Pokemon, problem solved. Yeah, the issue is I have to make sure that the list Pokemon does something in the match. Because in the rules, it says the Pokemon has to at least use a move. Right? Because it's kind of hard to, oh, I misspelled evolved. It's kind of hard to objectively quantify how much work a Pokemon did in a game. So I think that like if you bring the Pokemon and it uses a move, that is enough to consider it a win with the Pokemon, right? Because there are some people, like I qualified for Players Cup 2 or 3 with Golisopod, and Golisopod's role on that team was Aqua Jetting a Gigantamax Colossal and then getting forced out with First Impression into like a Venusaur so it can like take advantage of the sun from Max Flare. And I got criticism from people saying that you didn't use a Golisopod team, you used a Colossal team and Golisopod was the activator. I'm like, okay, but Golisopod literally, like, its ability was used, First Impression was important, I wide guarded. It is a Golisopod team, right? So doing it so there is at least like one specific thing they have to do, they just have to use a move, I think that's a good idea. And I think that's a pretty good idea. Anyways. That took forever. This stream kind of sucked because it took forever. I'm glad you guys were around for this. Let's see what we're gonna raid today. If you guys are watching on YouTube and you guys want to continue to watch a stream, hop over to Twitch. Actually, I'm actually curious how many of you guys would hop over to Twitch right now. Let me see. We're gonna raid one of our friends. This could be fun. I feel bad because the YouTube viewers never get involved in the raid. Here, click this link I'm gonna put in chat. Hop over to Twitch and we'll raid one of our friends. Okay. I hope that's not against like YouTube terms of service. I don't think it is. YouTube's pretty chill about that sort of thing. All right. So, yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, click over there. We'll raid one of our friends. If you don't want to raid one of my friends, we'll call it there. Thank you all for watching on YouTube. I will see you guys in the next one. If you're on Twitch, we're going to raid a buddy of mine. All right. I'll see you later.